Alright, people. Pushing Wild Black here. I'm gonna try to do this quick because it's halftime of the Bears game. So, I wanted to do this quick video about the term inspirational porn and how it is being used in the disabled community. It's a hot topic in disability articles and disability rights articles and stuff. And how this came to be, there's a comedian named Stella Young from Australia. She has a disability, and she was doing a TED Talk. And if you're not familiar with TED Talks are these inspirational, motivational speaking series where people are giving speeches about their life, about certain topics. And the clip that's circulating around the internet is an 8-minute clip about her life as a disabled person, and she coined the phrase inspirational porn. And basically, inspirational porn is a situation or an idea where the able-bodied person objectifies the disabled person for the purposes of being an inspiration to the able-bodied person and as a way to make the able-bodied person feel good. And it's not basically because a disabled person did anything extraordinary. It's just because they're living. For example, the example that she gave was she was a teenager at about 15, and somebody wanted to give her an community achievement award just because she's out in the community being a teenager. And her parents stopped the person from giving the award, saying that basically she hasn't done anything. It's nice and all, but she hasn't done anything. So the term inspirational porn, everybody's using that term in disabled writing. She has received some blowback. This is kind of like a semi-hot topic, a little bit, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. I've been on Facebook, found the blog. There was a young lady that did um, I don't want to say she did a criticism of that term, but she just gave a different opinion, and I wanted to respond basically to that. So the um, the idea of inspirational porn, uh, basically the idea that the blog post was about was basically who are we as disabled people to tell somebody what's inspiring to them. What I would say to that is I look at inspiration in two different things. One, then to when I'm inspired by something, it inspires me to do something, and they really achieve something. Like if I look at somebody with cerebral palsy or somebody that's not even disabled, and I mentioned the cerebral palsy thing because I saw somebody with cerebral palsy. He was a weightlifter, and the first thing that I thought of when I saw him, when I saw the video, was like, "Dang, I got to get to the gym." Like it inspired me to either do something, be a better person, or create. Like there's something that I can be out, and then I have an idea in my head, and then I'll go on Photoshop and I'll create something. Or with this YouTube channel, I have YouTube people that I listen to that inspire me to do this. So, for me, inspiration means action, and it's not really about with able-bodied people. It's not really about what you did. It's about how they feel. Their situation was bad, so they feel some type of way. So because they feel some type of way and they see you, they're like their situation is better now, because they could be where you are, and it inherently makes the disabled person less. That's what it is. Like, it feel like it's good that you're out because I wouldn't do that if I were you. Or there are people that I know that are in the same situation as you are, and they don't do this. And it's like, that's not why we do things. Like, I get targeted with the whole you're an inspirational type of deal. And it's kind of like, I haven't done anything of importance. I just live. Like, my first experience with that was when I was like 14, and somebody from a motivational speaker actually pointed me out in the middle of a speech and said this guy was a hero because I have friends, I go to school every day, and I get good grades. I'm like, I get good grades because I'm smart and I do homework. I go to school because my mom makes me go. She's one of those people that if you, unless you're bleeding or something's broken, you're going to school. So I felt like, because people were giving me high fives after that and saying how awesome that was. And I'm like, I don't feel heroic. I just feel like I'm supposed to do that. And then I've had stories in high school where somebody gave me the most inspirational person in our prom, and it was kind of like, really, I just went to prom. But people feel like that just because you make a decision to live or you make a decision to be normal. By the way, I've been disabled for 33 years, my entire life, and this I have no pre-disability story, so this is my normal. I have bills to pay, I have a life to live, you know, like I'm not going to be a hermit if I can help it. And I don't think that's inspirational. I just think that's life. And the why is this a bad thing? Basically because the expectations of disabled Americans are set very, very low. And the idea, generally speaking, the idea that if we do anything that's awesome, it's because the expectation of disability, of people with disabilities, is very low. We still have the highest unemployment rate, the highest underemployment rate. There are certain industries that we just can't get into for whatever reason. And it's like, we're still people. And it seems like we have to fight for everything that we get. And then if you do make it, everybody makes it to be like a big deal because you made it or you did something normal. When it should just be everybody, disabled, non-disabled, black, white, whatever, should have the same opportunities, and we don't. And should have the same access, and we don't. So I feel like the idea that people have that we're special just because of our disability, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the disabled person, especially when they're young, because Stella brought up a good point, and I'm gonna post the TED Talk, and I'm gonna post the interview that she did, and I'm gonna post the retort of that, of the inspirational porn idea, and the, in the description. So she was saying that like it when you have disabled children and you think and you tell them that they're special, that they're heroes, and you put them on a pedestal real early, it gives them this sense of entitlement, and then they're in for a rude awakening when they become adults, and then it's like you can't get a job that you want, or you experience discrimination and ableism, and everything doesn't go as well as you think it would versus your small town life. So there's a lot I can go into here, but my I'm doing this through my phone, and my phone is weird with the mics and with the time. So anyway, tell me what you think. I think she was brilliant in that assessment. I think the oh, and wanted to say this. She's been getting flack from using the term porn, but when you look at the pornography and what it's designed to do, it objectifies mainly women, but men too sometimes. It objectifies people for the sexual gratification of the watcher. And with inspirational porn, with the memes, with the idea that you would look at me with an inspiration, with the stories on the news, with the stories on ESPN, it objectifies the disabled person in the story, sometimes unbeknownst to them, for the gratification of someone's psychological state. And I probably said that wrong, but you watch these stories to feel good. You don't respect the person. You watch these stories to feel good. That's awesome moment. And a lot of times it's not even about that. And it's really patronizing to a lot of us. And it makes us feel like you think of us as less than just because of our disability. But anyway, that's my quick thoughts on it. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna put this on my Facebook page as I always do. Let me know what you guys think about this. All right, Pushing While Black out. Later.